Distracting. Okay, hey. So we are recording this call. Let me tell you that. Just so you know, it's just going to go out on my team training stuff on my YouTube channel. So just so you know, it is being recorded. And for anybody I haven't met on the call, I'm Melissa Kramer, and I'm so glad you guys are on tonight. We have an amazing call. There is no doubt going to happen tonight. And sorry, making sure everybody's muted. So I just wanted to thank you all for being on the call. I am currently a Senior Gold Ambassador, very soon to be a Ruby Ambassador. So I'm excited about that. And I am definitely hoping that this call will help you all to promote as well. So the importance of that is, you know, we've been doing that Go Silver, trying to get everybody to go silver this month or go silver again. And so I'm sure that lots of things that Alicia is going to tell you are going to help you on that path, since she is obviously, she's a diamond silver. So there and beyond. So I wanted to tell you, I've got a couple administrative things that I'll tell you at the very end of the call, so Alicia can jump off so she doesn't have to listen to all that boring stuff. And I just want to introduce her by saying that Alicia and I met last October at Leaders Retreat in Orlando, which was really cool. I obviously had seen her from afar on Facebook and such, but we had never met. She is Haley's direct upline, and Haley is my level 2, although she's a neighbor who lives one street over. We just have other mutual friends in between us in Plexus, in the Plexus world. So I am Alicia's level 3, and was really honored to meet her at Leaders Retreat last year. She's awesome, super friendly, so kind, and really helpful. She's helped me numerous times when I've kind of gone to her in a tizzy or in a panic or whatever, and just, you know, walked me through stuff and whatever. And so I know she has great stuff to say to us tonight. Like I said, she's a Diamond Silver Ambassador. So after she finished her diamond leg and got to, I think it's 6,000 points, she re-entered and has started over again and is a silver ambassador. So with that, I think y'all should grab some paper and get ready to take notes, because I know Alicia's going to have great stuff to say and a lot of stuff that we can learn from her journey. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Alicia. Do you want to unmute yourself?
There we go.
Awesome.
Yes. Hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. I was just telling Melissa, I just got back from water park. I'm looking at my hair going, oh my word. It's half wet back here, and then it'll start to frizz and curl. So y'all are gonna be watching. My hair's gonna like get bigger as we're talking. But I figured it was better if I took my hat off. I mean, it's hat here, but then you wouldn't be able to see me if I still had my hat on. So anyway, went ahead and took it off. Y'all, your leader is awesome. I've got to know Melissa, and her story is amazing. Y'all know that, I'm sure. Do they know your story? Have you told them your story? Most of them, maybe?
I think most of them know. Yeah, maybe not everybody, but I think most of them know.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Every time I hear it, I'm like, oh my goodness. I mean, if God brought me Plexus for Melissa, then it was worth it. Okay, so I'll tell you what, the testimonies get me every time, and confirm my faith that I'm in the right place at the right time, and it should do that for you too. So I'll tell you a little bit how I started with Plexus. And then Melissa gave me, sorry, I've got people asking me questions here. Melissa gave me some things that maybe y'all might want to talk about. Hang on, I'm getting that ready. Okay. But just to fill you in, I think it's 6,500 before you can re-enter points. But so what happened, and if y'all, my internet's weird, and I've made everybody in the house turn off their Wi-Fi, but if for some reason I freeze up, I'll call back. So if I disappear, that I'll come back, I promise. But I started in April of 2013, and like a lot of you, I had a friend post on Facebook, and I'm a mama of 4 girls, and that last little girl, we call her a bonus baby, and I had her 3 weeks before I turned 40. And let me tell you, losing baby weight at 40 is a lot harder than it was the other 3 times. And so, and my husband will say the same thing. It's hard for men to lose baby weight, you know, when they're that age too. And so we were both looking for something, and a friend of mine had posted on Facebook. I was actually still nursing Sinclair at the time. And I asked this friend about it, and she said, oh, just go look at my website. And I said, okay. And so I go to her website, and if you're not familiar with Plexus and you go to the website, you're overwhelmed. And this was our old website, so not even as easy to find things as our new current website. Okay, this is our old website back then. And so I go to the website, I had no idea what I was looking at, and I said, oh my, I don't even know what to do. I'm just going to wait till I'm done nurse. I'm not going to do anything while Sinclair's still under a year, and I'll just come back and ask her about it later. Y'all, 9 months went by. She never followed up. She stopped posting on Facebook. She never told me I could do slim while nursing. And oh my gosh, I so would have if somebody had told me that. She never gave me any kind of direction on where to go. And like I said, she stopped posting, and she started posting about her t-shirt business. So what did that tell me? That she wasn't doing it anymore. She didn't have to say she wasn't doing it. She showed me by not posting or following up that she wasn't doing it anymore. It was just a fad. And she's one of those that does everything. So I was kind of like, yeah, it's just her latest thing. She's not doing it anymore. So I forgot about it until, like I said, 9 months later. Then my friend Beth posted on Facebook. And guess what? It was familiar to me, right? Because I had already heard about it from somebody else. I'd already been to the website. And here was another friend saying that it worked. So I sent Beth a message. And granted, I hadn't seen Beth in several years. We used to go to church together, and she moved to a different church, and then I moved to a different church. And so we had lost touch except for Facebook. And she said, I'm going to be at Target. I'll bring you by a sample. You've got to try this. End of story. Okay. So she comes by. Of course, I'm a stay-at-home mom of 7 years. I need to figure out what is the cheapest way to get this stuff, because I was about to do another program that was going to cost an arm and a leg, but I was just going to jump into it because I needed to do something. And then when she showed me that my husband and I could both do this for about $200 a month, and the other program was going to be over $200 just for me, I was like, well, I'm a bargain shopper. I'll take the cheaper route, right? So I jumped in not knowing the health benefits, the amazing, ingredients, all the things that I didn't even know about the comp plan. I didn't really care. I just wanted it for the cheapest price. Okay. I'm totally different. I'll believe, my friend tells me their favorite restaurant, I'm going to go try it. My friend tells me something, that they really love. I'll trust them and I'll try it. I know some people are very skeptical and they've got to check everything out for themselves. That's not me. So I know y'all are like thinking what you can sell me, because you probably can. So, anyways, so Beth signed me up. She didn't know anything about Plexus really either. So we both went to Celeste to learn all that she knew, even though she had only been in the company for about 2 months at the time. So, so we grew up under Celeste's wing, and it just took off. Started building momentum really quickly when my husband and I both, in the first week, we both saw weight loss. But the biggest thing, I think, to my friends was I was posting about, oh my gosh, y'all, I don't want Diet Coke. And everybody knows, Alicia, I'd always had, a Diet Coke. This is water, just so y'all know. But I always had a Diet Coke with me. And so it was just weird to say, I don't even want it. And everybody knew that was weird. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's weird. Did y'all like not want your soda anymore? I mean, when you first started, I was like, this is just weird. Okay. And then also when I had Sinclair, fourth pregnancies can do weird things to you. And with her, I got something called plantar fasciitis, which is really bad pain in your feet. And she would cry. Her crib was in my room, and she would cry, and I couldn't get to her because it hurt so bad. I would have to do my stretches, or just a second, baby, or Michael would have to come in from the other room because I couldn't get out of bed to get her fast enough because my feet hurt so bad. I was getting shots in my feet every 2 weeks. I had to wear these special things around my feet, and I couldn't wear my flip-flops. And that was like end of the world right there. And so I was not expecting Plexus to help me with that. I had no idea that it could. But seriously, within just a couple of weeks, I was wearing flip-flops. I didn't need my shots, and I didn't want my Diet Coke. I wasn't finishing my kids' French fries, which I thought that was weird too. French fries should never go in the trash. And that's what I used to think, but they do go in the trash now. And so I had immediate results that were things that I could pass on to my friends and tell them with passion that something is going on with this product here. It's working and I'm feeling better. I also have something called PCOS. If y'all don't know what that is, it's polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it's painful cysts on your ovaries every single month. It also made it to where with my first two kids, we did fertility treatments, very expensive fertility treatments to have them. I know now if Plexus had been around back then, probably would have saved me a whole lot of money. But what happened, after about 8 weeks on the products, I went and had my yearly checkup with my doctor. And first of all, she's like, "You look great. What have you been doing?" So I told her. I brought everything with me because I wanted her to see the ingredients. And she said, "Oh, this looks great." I said, "Well, why is this helping me? I'm not diabetic. And this was made for type 2, people with type 2 diabetes. Why is it making me feel better?" And she said, "Because everybody benefits from regulated blood sugar. Everybody." And she said, when your body, this is my doctor telling me this. She didn't even know what Plexus was, but she's telling me that regulated blood sugar helps your body to heal itself. And so she said, that's probably why you don't have the pain in your feet anymore. That's probably why you're not having the painful, cysts anymore. I also started having 28-day cycles, which is a first for me. And I have been for 2 years now. And so she said, let's do some blood work just to see how this has affected your PCOS. And I said, okay. So we drew a bunch of blood and my lab results came back. And you may have seen it because it's in our files in our group. But at the bottom of the page, it says no sign of PCOS. And I had it for over 10 years. Okay. It showed up in my blood, for 10 years. And it did not even show up in my blood after being on Plexus for 2 months. And that's because of my blood sugar being regulated. Okay. When you have PCOS, the treatment is glucophage or metformin, which are diabetic drugs. So it totally makes sense that the Slim acted as that medicine for me. So if you know somebody that is suffering with that, get them on the Slim. And it may not be as quick as 2 months, but it might be. You never know. It might take them a little bit longer depending on how severe their symptoms are. But anyway, I love, love, love knowing that God brought me something not only to help us lose weight, me and my husband, and then also to make us healthier. My father-in-law, his triglycerides were in the 2000s, which I didn't know was high. I mean, I didn't know what a triglyceride was supposed to be, but he was on such high doses of medication for that. And then I showed him this, and he saw on the package how it says, it keeps your cholesterol and your lipids at healthy levels. He's like, oh, I think I want to do this. He has not missed a day because his triglycerides are now in the 200s, which are still, I guess, high, but they're not the 2000s, right? And he's controlling it. His doctor even said, do not stop what you're doing. So there's another, God moment of why Plexus, was brought to my life. Right before I found Plexus in April, my daughter, my now 11-year-old, was diagnosed with ADD. And she just had trouble focusing in class. She's never gotten in trouble in her life, but they would be talking about math and she would ask a reading question. I mean, she just could not stay focused on the topic. And so we took her to the doctor, and I was one of those moms. I'm like, whatever I got to do to help my kid, if this is going to help her get through this STAR test, because in Texas at the end of the school year, we have this big test and they have to pass it. I said, I'll do it. And that medicine made her crazy. It made her crazy. Like during the day, she focused and her teachers noticed and she was doing better and she got through that STAR test and she passed it. But 8 hours is when it wore off, and she did not have any confidence. She cried at everything. It's like her emotions were heightened, and it made her crazy. I'm like, who is this kid? Where's my kid? And so, and then the next month is when I found Plexus. Well, that summer I said, we're getting off this medicine. We're going to, and I had been seeing some testimonies about other people finding relief with their ADD and ADHD with the Slim and the probiotic. And so I took everything to the pediatrician, and she said, let's try it. And I couldn't believe that she was willing to let me try it. But she said, there's nothing in here that'll hurt her. It's summertime. Let's try it. And that's all she's been doing ever since. And she finished 4th grade and she finished 5th grade. And our last meeting with 5th grade, the teachers said we would never know she had ADD if it was not in her charts. So I'm like, there's another, God moment telling me, okay, we're in the right place at the right time. I have 18 family members that are on the products. So, it makes me happy knowing my aunt has neuropathy from diabetes. She doesn't, she's on her nerve health and she doesn't have that anymore. And so I love helping people. I never ever in a million years thought I would end up being in the healthcare industry, but I love it. I actually have a marketing degree and worked in corporate America for 10 years before I stayed home. When we had our 3rd daughter, I started staying home and my husband started traveling. He got a new job traveling, and he's been with that job actually now almost 10 years. But we're actually talking about maybe even getting him. He's about worn out on that. So he'd rather travel with me with Plexus events. So, we've got Hawaii coming up. We've got DC coming up, and he's like, I'm not missing those. And he's out of vacation days. So they may say, see ya, I don't know. But anyway, we're having a ball with it. When I first started, I really wasn't looking for a job. I was content being a busy stay-at-home mom, and I was one of those that would have told you, I'm too busy for this. Anybody else say that? I'm busy. I'm a busy mama. I don't have time for this. I'm not going to grow a business. But it's easy to share something you're passionate about, right? I mean, you tell your friends what you're doing anyway that you love. If I wasn't selling it, I'd still be sharing it. So if you can say that, then you're passionate about something. Just like if I found something that, a hair product that I really loved, I'd be telling everybody about it. If I found a restaurant or a recipe or a mascara, everybody has to share their favorite mascara. I'd be telling everybody about it. So I figure, what, with this company, I've seen the comp plan when I was brand new and I didn't even know how it worked. It didn't matter. But I saw that I could make money immediately, which I thought was pretty amazing. And when I figured out that by growing a team and building my customers, I could make my first month, I could have paid our mortgage. So my first full month with the company, which my husband's like, okay, I think this is for real. I think that maybe we were onto something here. And I actually was able to, I don't know about y'all, but when I first started, I was not even thinking about Emerald. I was not thinking about getting a Lexus. I was thinking about getting to silver. Okay. And then I was thinking about getting to gold. And that's all I thought about. And I knew, okay, for gold, I need 100 points. What does that mean? I need about 20 people. I need, doing 5 points each. What does that mean? Who do I need to talk to get to gold? That's what I did next. I didn't focus on big picture because my brain doesn't work that way. I know there's some people that have to be surrounded with, all the Emerald pictures and have the Plexus Lexus out. I mean, my kids we would see a Lexus out and they'd say, that's so funny. That rhymes with Plexus. You could put a P in front of that Lexus sign and you could drive that, Mama. That'd be fun. I had no idea there was a Lexus program even at the time. So anyway, but I did get one in 7 months. From the time I started, it took me 7 months to get my first Lexus. And I traded an 8-year-old minivan for that Lexus. And let me tell you, your Emerald Lexus choices do not seat more than 5. And we have 6 in our family. And I didn't care. I was like, somebody's staying home. I'm getting that Lexus. I don't care if we don't all fit. My husband has a car. He can drive. And so we got the first car, and I was thinking, it might take me about a year to get to Diamond. Again, not really understanding how fast it could happen and understanding. I just knew I needed to get to Sapphire next, right? Okay, well, so I promoted in November to Emerald. I promoted to Sapphire in January, and I promoted to Diamond in February. So then I went out and got the big SUV that fit all of us, so we don't have to leave anybody home. Everybody gets to drive in the Plexus Lexus. So anyway, y'all, the perks of growing your business and being consistent are huge. Remember I told y'all about my first friend, Elise, who first posted about Plexus and didn't follow up with me? She is still a Plexus ambassador, okay? So she missed out on me, somebody who turned, diamond in 10 months on her team. She is still, I think, a silver, to be honest. She still doesn't really ever post about Plexus. And when I finally followed up, because she knows Beth too, we all used to go to church together. And so, Beth, didn't know that Elise was doing it either. She joined under Celeste. So she missed Beth too. So she could have had us 9 months before Celeste even signed up. So isn't that crazy? But you know what? God works in mysterious ways, and we're on the team we are on for a reason, and I love it. My husband is an ambassador too. He is a Ruby, should be senior Ruby pretty soon. So he still works a full-time job, so he's not growing as fast as I did, but that's okay. So we have actually 3 businesses in the house. So we have mine, his, and then mine again. Because when I re-entered, I was able to recruit myself. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, let me look at some of your questions real quick. How do I manage my time and stay organized? So I read this book about the 4 color personalities. Have you read that, Melissa? I read it on the plane. I am so blue. I am blue. I'm a little bit of yellow. I like to take care of people, and I'm a tiny, itsy bitsy red. Not very much. But which means my personality is not, I don't really keep to a rigid schedule all the time. I'm not, sometimes I am a good fly by the seat of my pants kind of girl, and I get a lot of stuff done that way because I'm still a mama to 4 kids. I'm not a rigid planner outer. I just never have been. Some people may thrive on that, but I can't tell you that's what I do because I don't do that. But I do make sure that I follow up because obviously I learned that that's important. And I set a lot of alarms on my phone. So I don't know if you have an iPhone, but if you have that system, but I do. I set a lot of alarms on my phone. I do a lot of Zoom meetings, so I have to set alarms so I don't forget. And I also set alarms anytime I meet somebody. I'll put their name in, I'll get their cell phone. I'll even put it on my calendar to text or call this new person within 3 days of meeting them and follow up with them. I do a lot of that. Let's see. But you know what? With my time, because, I've got 4 kids home this summer, I work around their schedule. We still have fun, but I love being able to run a business from my phone. My business does, last month it did $1.6 million. Okay. So I'm a stay-at-home mama with $1 million business that I run on my phone. All right. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? I love it. I love the freedom. I love that I can share this opportunity with other mamas and say, you can do this. You can be a stay-at-home mom. You can be a working mom and fit this into your schedule because you just, I have a lot of what is Plexus? I'll have a little, if somebody asks me that and needs me to send it to them real quick, I have it in the notes on my phone. I can just copy, paste. And I'm not spending a lot of time doing this and answering them, but a billion times. I'm doing it once. Whatever you've sent to one person, put it in the notes on your phone so that you can send it to the next person. You want to work smarter, not harder. Okay. Let's see. I use social media to my advantage on a computer, which I'm not on the computer a lot. I try to get on it at night because sometimes you can see a little bit more and stuff. but on the right side of your screen on Facebook, you can see when people are online. Did you know that? There's like a little green light by them on the side. And you're like, oh, well, so-and-so is up late too. Look who's there. Oh, she's got migraines. I think now is a great time for a migraine testimony. I think I need to find one to post. Okay. That's called strategic posting. I did that a whole lot in the beginning, and I got a lot of interest that way. I'm not necessarily calling them out. I'm not, sending them personal, hey, here's a migraine testimony for you, especially if it's somebody that I really know, yes. But, a lot of our Facebook friends, we may not have seen in the past 20 years, or we may have just met them. We don't necessarily know them very well, right? So you don't want to call them out, especially on weight loss. You can't do that, y'all. But you can see when they're on and just happen to post a testimony when they're on, and go like something on their page before you post it, so Facebook knows that y'all are good friends. You see what I'm saying? So if you're interacting with them on Facebook, Facebook knows that they need to show your posts to them too. Again, that's being strategic. Okay, I've totally lost my little thingy here. Okay, so I didn't really compare myself to anybody else. I just knew that that it could be done, because I was working right under Celeste, and she was going as fast as craziness can go. And that's all I knew. I didn't know at the time that 7 months was fast for Emerald. I had no clue. I had no idea that getting a diamond in 10 months was fast either. It was just my time. I even told my kids, I said, okay, and this is something that y'all should do too. If you're just starting out, or if you're trying to get your family on board, especially husbands or wives, if you have a spouse that may not be completely on board, but you see the vision, you see the opportunity, you see how this can help you. Maybe you're trying to get out of debt. Maybe you're trying to save up for a boat. Maybe you're trying to save up for a vacation or college funds. All these things are things that I've done since I've started Plexus. But my first thing that I did was I wanted to take my family on a vacation, and I wanted to pay for it 100%. And so I did that. I started, like I said, I started like mid-April. I really didn't start posting till the end of April. So May was my first month. By July, we went on a vacation to SeaWorld. I paid for the gas for the car. I paid for the hotel. I paid for the tickets to SeaWorld for 6. I paid for all of our meals, paid for the museum. When my husband got out his credit card to pay for dinner, I yelled at him. I said, you put that up right now. I'm paying for this. And it was so fun because, for 7 years, the only thing I could pay for was, little bitty thing, whatever I sold on Facebook and those garage sale sites, that was my spending money. That's all I had. So I loved the ability to pay for stuff. And I was able to tell my girls, when y'all see mama and you think she's playing on her phone, I'm working and I'm building a business, and it's going to benefit all of us. My oldest daughter is about to turn 16, and when I first started with Plexus, she was wanting to be on a travel softball team, and we had never been able to afford it before. And I said, you know what, go ahead and try out. We'll figure out if we can make this work. She was able to get on the travel softball team. And then last summer, I don't know how many camps and trips that they had, but she was offered 4 different scholarships, and she accepted one to Belmont in Nashville. It's almost a full scholarship to play softball, that she would not have had that opportunity to be on a travel team. That's where you get to see my coaches. That's where you learn about colleges. That's where, it's an opportunity for her. But if she hadn't been able to be on that team, she would never have gotten that opportunity. She would never have gotten that scholarship. And she understands this is Plexus made that happen. So I took my family on a vacation, let my daughter play softball. Last summer, I actually took 10 of us to Disney World and paid for a huge house for us, for all the for my in-laws and my niece and nephew. My family sees benefits from mama working. And yes, it's a full-time job when you're a diamond. I work at least 40 to 50 hours a week. I'd have to make myself stop working sometimes because it's so fun. But I love it. I love helping people, and I love I love helping people get healthy. I love helping people find their dreams, to be able to quit their jobs that they hate. I've heard that several times. Help people, find themselves again. Sometimes stay-at-home moms, we kind of lose ourselves. We're like, okay, we're a mom. We are more than a mom. Okay. And sometimes it's a bigger issue than just, having this, part-time fun job. But y'all, it is what you put into it. If you work it just sometimes, you're going to get rewarded just sometimes. If you work it full time, make it, where you're actually following up every day, you're contacting prospects every day, you have your DMO and you're doing it every day, you are posting on Facebook every day and other social media, you're actually working every single day, you're going to see huge benefit, and you're going to see your business change, especially if you realize it's about so much more than weight loss. Okay. I had to change my focus, because at first that's all I wanted. And so that's all I focused on. Once I completely changed and said, when somebody asks, what is Plexus? And you say, Plexus is a health and wellness company. Our products are all natural. They are plant-based. They are good for you. They help with all kinds of things: migraines, PCOS, plantar fasciitis, inflammation. These are things that it's helped me with. What's going on with you? What do you have that you might need some help with? And people are quick to, people that you think are just fine will tell you something is going on that you didn't know. They might have IBS. They may, when it comes to, pooping, people are scared to talk about it. But Helen McFadden will tell you, if 3 cars are going in the car wash every day, 3 cars need to come out. And if you're not, then you need to get on our bio cleanse. I love it. But it's true, y'all. And it can change people's lives. I have several girls on my team who have IBS that they said, and I don't have this, so I didn't know, but if you have IBS, like, you can't even go out to a restaurant to eat sometimes. That, you have to be by your bathroom at all times. That it's awful. And so they said that it's changed their lives. Inflammation can be the root of a lot of things, and gut health can be the root of so many things. When you start talking about gut health and how you can help people with any kind of, pretty much any autoimmune issue, you're going to get their attention, because everybody has it. My now 9-year-old has allergies and asthma, and she's allergic to grass. Okay. She is outside every single day. She has not even needed her allergy pill. She just takes her ProBio at night. She does Slim every once in a while, but it's that ProBio 5, y'all. And she does that. We have not, knock on wood, but we have not been in the emergency room at Children's in over 2 years for her asthma since she has started the ProBio 5. She hasn't needed it. She hasn't needed, the allergy stuff. My other daughter, I already told y'all, she's off her ADD meds. It's that ProBio 5. I'm telling you, everybody needs to be on it. So I just think that if you can focus on your next promotion, work your job with intent, and you're building a business here. You're a business owner, and look at somebody in the room, look at your mirror, say, I'm a business owner. So I want you to know that this is a business, and it's up to you to grow it. Your sponsor cannot do it for you. Your sponsor cannot hold your hand and help you do everything. She can lead you the right direction, which is what she should do, but she should not work your business for you, because it is up to you. I have close to 13,000 people on my team, which is crazy, but I can't grow all their businesses. I can grow mine, and I can be a mama because I've got 4 kids. But if I needed to help every single person to grow their business, I wouldn't sleep. I wouldn't be able to be a mama. I wouldn't be able to do anything except that. So, it's kind of like, you teach a man to fish. So we'll show you the way and show you our files and our groups and our videos. That's how I learned. I learned completely from videos. That's all we had. We didn't have Zoom when I first started. We had videos, and And it was mainly Sonia Dudley and a couple from Plexus, and that was it. And I did a meeting with Sonia this summer, and she said the only reason she even made those videos is because she got tired of talking to people all the time. And suddenly everybody started sharing her videos, and I'm like, you know what? She was in Mary Kay for 17 years, and that's what she learned how to do. She learned how to train, and we have all benefited from it. So anyway, I encourage you to get on those videos and learn as much as you can. I gave up TV. When I first started, that was one of the things I gave up for my business. I have not missed it. Instead of TV, I would watch a video. I would watch at least one video every single day. I couldn't get enough. I wanted to learn. Product knowledge is huge. Don't feel like you have to know everything before you start sharing those. You just need one testimony or one story on each product. That's all. That's all you need to know before you can start talking about something. And what that you've heard or that that this one product helps with. That's all you need to know. Everything else you can find out for somebody. So don't feel like you need to be professional. But anyway, yes, I gave up TV. I also in the car. On my Lexus I have Bluetooth, but before that I would just I would put my phone on speaker and I would listen to the videos when I was driving around. Or and now I can put it on Bluetooth and play it through the speakers, but I constantly do that. My girls are like, "Who are we listening to today?" Because they're in the car, and so they understand. Mama's growing her business. This is what I do, and I work around their schedule. So anyway, my room has gotten really dark. I need to go turn a light on. Do y'all have anything else that you want to talk about? For sure. Hang on, I'm going to turn a light on. I have to hide my bedroom because
it's pretty.
It's really not. Just don't look on that side. But we have 5-bedroom house, but the 5th bedroom is my study, and that Sinclair, that's where she is now. So I lost my study to her, and we moved my study to the dining room, but it's open, so I can't do Zoom calls in there, or else y'all would hear everybody. So I go hide my bedroom when we do Zoom calls. But can you think of anything else?
Did you see Liza asked a question? She said when new ambassadors sign on, how do you teach them? What are the first things you do to train them?
Okay, so when a brand new ambassador signs up, you always want to make sure that you add them to the Facebook groups. I'm sure Melissa has a list of those that she wants y'all to add them to. Also, there are videos that I would recommend. Actually, Jen Hawkins, who is a diamond 3 above me. I'm her level 3. And she did a really good video on what to do with a new ambassador, or what to do as a new ambassador. I am big on sharing videos because I think you need to be duplicatable, and I don't do everything myself because of that. Why would I make one when she just made one? I think that the information is there. There's a list in my group that I share with people. I keep it simple though. I don't bombard new ambassadors with a ton of stuff because it might scare them a little bit. I didn't have a ton of hand holding when I was new. I wanted it. And I think if you can ask your new ambassador what their why is, you'll get a better idea of how to lead them, right? If their why is, I just want the products wholesale, I don't want to grow a business, are you going to spend a ton of time with that new ambassador helping them grow their business at first? No, you're going to go to the ambassador that does need you, that wants to grow the business, okay? With the new ambassador, though, I always make sure that they have all the tools and that they know their options, and they can come to me and I will check up with them and see where they're at. Now, you know what? People are doing a lot of launches and they're very successful. One the other day, they had 15 people come to their launch. And again, with a launch, you don't need to know everything. You just need to have some good testimonials to share. And I would even encourage your friends, don't even bring your checkbook. I don't want you to buy anything that will totally throw them off, y'all. They're like, what? We're coming to a party and we're not buying something? Because, everybody thinks that you're going to a jewelry party, you're going to buy something just to, the token buy something at the party. Well, that's not our party, that's not how we work. And what happened at this one girl's party, she had 15 come, and 100% success. All of them either became an ambassador or a customer that night, which is huge. I think to get 15, I think she invited almost 200. Okay. So you've got to think about, who do you want to come and how are you going to get them there? You might need to have some margaritas or something, you might need to have a pool party. I don't know what it is, but I would definitely do a launch with new ambassadors. I'm actually meeting with a couple this week to talk about doing their launches. So, and they may feel better to have their sponsor, to have you there with them if you're local to them, or you could even Skype in if they, if people have questions that maybe they can't answer. But y'all, you have these catalogs. Y'all have this one, has the new Mega X on the front. This is going to be available here in just a couple of weeks, the new Mega X. But I love this because you can walk through people through this. Do you see how that on the ProBio, see how it has all the different prices? It has retail, preferred, and wholesale. So I think this is an amazing tool, especially for brand new ambassadors, because you don't have all that memorized. I don't have all the prices memorized. But it's got our new building that they're building, right when you turn it open, you can talk about that, how we're growing, we've grown over 16,000% in the last 3 years. Look at our brand new headquarters that we're building, and it should be done in November. And then all our pricing, and the best way to get it is wholesale. And then I usually say, and that's why I signed up, because I was a stay-at-home mama and I didn't have a lot of extra money, and Michael and I are both doing it, and so we needed the best price, so that's what we did. But then, oh my goodness, we loved the product, and we started talking about it, and pretty soon we had people wanting to jump on board with us. And I was getting $65 checks in the mail that I was like, I have no idea what Plexus is sending me money. This is really cool. So anyway, it goes through that. Then at the back, it talks about the 11 ways that we get paid, which is really cool because it literally walks you through, and you see all 11 ways that we get paid. Okay, and that 11th way is the re-entry position, and that's because when Sheila Medina was the first diamond, Helen McFadden was the second diamond, and they started getting more. I think I was 21. I was the 21st diamond. And they started getting all these diamonds, and they're like, okay, how are we going to keep these guys motivated? We got to give them something else to do. And so they came up with the re-entry position. And Celeste, who is, not my sponsor is Beth, but above Beth is Celeste, and she became our first double diamond at convention last month, which was pretty awesome. So y'all are on a great team. There's a lot of great leaders on your team. And we work our business with intent. And so you can look at these leaders and think, well, how did they do it? Nothing just really fell in our laps. We work with intent. And when you work with intent, you see results. So that's how I would like to leave y'all with that on your mind, so that you'll remember to do that too. Make sense?
Absolutely. That's awesome. Thank you, Alicia. That is really great information, and I love listening to you, and I love your story and all the kids. And did you say there were 18 family members?
I have 18 family members.
Yeah.
And y'all, I'm an only child, so that tells you something.
That's crazy. That is awesome.
Family members on both sides of our families, me and Michael's family, so that are on the products and are seeing results. So not everybody is in it for weight loss. Like my father-in-law with his triglycerides, he likes pie and he likes to eat, and he knows that his habits are keeping him from losing weight, but his triglycerides are under control. So that's all that he cares about.
Yeah.
So, we don't have miracle products, but we do have good products. So, and that's the other thing. If y'all have anybody that is struggling on any of the products, sometimes you just have to figure out, okay, what's the deal? What is sabotaging the products from working for you and see what it is. Sometimes it's a medication they're on. Sometimes they're not getting in their water. Sometimes they're on the wrong combination for them. So sometimes it takes a little bit because our products are natural ingredients. Okay. And sometimes it just takes longer for people. So anyway.
Definitely. All right. Well, thank you. We really appreciate it. And I think you answered all the questions that I had brought to you for sure.
Oh, good. All right. Well, thanks for having me. It's good to see y'all.
Thanks for doing this.
I'm gonna go. I'll see y'all later.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Okay. So the only other thing I wanted to say to y'all was just real quick. Don't forget, we have 4 more Zoom opportunity meetings this month, our first of the 4. So our next one is tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, same Zoom link. Invite family and friends to jump on and hear all about the products and new testimonies that none of us have heard. Yay, we have new people giving testimonies. So if you are new and have never been, yes, 8 Central, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. If you've never been on an opportunity meeting, you absolutely should jump on. You will learn new things about every product, about the business, and definitely hear new testimonies, which are awesome. And then, we do team trainings every other Monday night. So 2 weeks from now, I think, is August 3rd. And we're going to have another team training at 9 o'clock. And then this training and all my other trainings go out on my YouTube channel, which is The Mama Kramer. That's the name of my channel, The Mama Kramer. So this one's going to go out there, and I'll post it on Facebook as well. But you know how Alicia said, listen to trainings, watch a training instead of watching TV. If you want some place to start, that's a great place to start. And then you can also see on my channel the people I subscribe to and I follow, and that will give you lots of diamond ambassadors and other multi-level marketing gurus who I follow that you could then follow as well, such as Celeste. Gosh, I can't think of any names at the moment. That's terrible. But there's tons of them, and I've told you them like 1,000 times. But can't think of a single one right now. Sarah Marble's another one. She's awesome. Lots of people. And that's the last thing I'll end on. Alicia got to diamond in 10 months, and it can happen. And there's a lot of people it has happened to. But Sarah Marble took 3 years. And that happens too. And so don't ever get discouraged listening to a story like Alicia's thinking, oh my gosh, that's never going to be me, so I just can't do this. Well, that's not true, because we can all be Sarah Marbles. And you know what? If it took us 5 years to get a free Lexus and $500,000 and help 13,000 people, then I'm pretty sure I'll wait 5 years. So anyway, so glad y'all got on the call. So glad we got to hear from Alicia, and I love y'all, and I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.